Hey, Lord, come on, God.
Would you pay $60 for one steak? I know I sure wouldn't.
Please help me understand, when was a box of cereal $9.29?
$33 for toilet paper? We can't even afford to shit.
There is no way that a bag of Tostitos are $6. Oh, 2 for $8. Ooh.
Guys, I have never seen this before. They have security tags on the steaks, bro.
Today we will hear from Americans talking about how hard it is to afford to live in America. Check it out.
People are charging $1,000 a month to rent rooms in their home. $1,000 a month to rent a room. Bro, what the we gonna do? The cost of living has gotten out of hand, and y'all buy a house, man. Everybody that I know that owns a house tells me don't buy no house. They hate that shit. Between property taxes going the up, insurance going the up, niggas having to fix roofs. Is that what it is? Having to fix their roof and shit. Everybody I know that got a house tell me don't buy no house. They say at least you call a maintenance man. But dead ass, what the we gonna do about the rising cost of living? Because what you mean you charging people $1,000? You got 3 rooms in your house, you're charging them $1,000 for somebody to come live there. This shit is sad. Like, my son gonna be an adult in the next couple of years. He's gonna graduate from high school and be an adult. And this is the world he has to live in? The I guess I need shit is weird.
I got a letter recently that my property taxes are going to go up $600 a year from now on. I got a letter that my homeowner's insurance is going up $60 a month. My propane company sent me a letter that my propane is going to double this year. They just came and filled up my tank. It was $1,000. That's crazy. Also, as a entrepreneur and business owner, I get my health insurance through the marketplace. So you have the Affordable Care Act. I pay $45 a month. They just informed me that if this bill passes and I lose my tax credit, I'm going to go from $45 a month to $660 a month for health insurance. I need to buy a new car, and I can't because the cars have gotten more expensive and the interest rates have gotten so much more expensive. I can't find a reliable car that has the same monthly payment of $450 a month that I've been paying now for a new car. Not necessarily new, but new to me. Groceries are insane, and it feels like every day I get a new email from another subscription that I have, whether it's Netflix, my website subscription, everything's increasing in price. And I sit pretty much every day stressed about money, and yet I know that there are so many people in this country that are way worse off than me, and they're not making it, y'all. They're not making it. What hurts me the most is that there are so many women, especially, that just cannot afford to leave abusive homes, and they have to stay in it because of this economy. So are we great again, America? Like, is this what you voted for? Meanwhile, they all sit there in DC, not feeling any of these pressures, not doing anything about it, not giving a shit about the American people. I have been extremely poor, and I have been extremely wealthy. And I know from firsthand experience that the wealthy people don't notice it. And most people are pretty self-absorbed and aren't thinking about other people anyway. So we got to talk about this more. We got to raise hell. We have to let DC know that this is not acceptable.
Look the American people in the eye and tell us that we're not in a silent depression. 100 million Americans have been closed out of buying a house because they need $120,000 of income with no credit cards, no car payment, and no student loans. Then you have rent prices. Well, at least those are steady. No, they're not. Every single 12 months, they're raising the rent $200. They're raising the rent $300. They're raising the rent $200. Where does this go in 5 years for the economists? Where does this go in 5 years when 100 million Americans cannot buy a home and get a fixed rate, and their rent's being raised $200 every year? Where are we in 5 years? If you can answer that question, that would be amazing. But don't insult us and say we're not in a silent depression. College has never been more expensive, and the pay of a college graduate hasn't ever been lower. It has not kept up. The housing and rent, people renting are spending 40% of their income. That's unheard of. And then because the cost of living is so expensive, you have both parents who have to work. So what happens to the children? They go to daycare. And what happens when you have more demand than supply? The prices go up. And that's why parents are spending $2,500 on top of their student loans, on top of their $2,500 rent, and they need $100,000 just to pay the bills without savings and out investing.
I can't be the only one that feel like everything is high as fuck. it has went down. Like, can somebody tell me the price of groceries is high as fuck? I ordered $125 worth of groceries. Baby, when I tell you it was just one handful that could sit right on the damn passenger seat in the seatbelt. The cost of living. I remember when 2 bedrooms used to be $500 something, $600 something, 3 times the rent, and it's about $1,300 to $1,500 for 2 bedrooms. Medication, health insurance is high as fuck. I told y'all a few weeks ago, someone passed away because he couldn't afford his inhaler. His inhaler usually be $60 on his insurance, and his inhaler went up to about $600 damn dollars. He couldn't afford it. What about this high ass car insurance? Good driving record. Baby, I ain't never had no low driving record. I remember they told us when you turn 25 with a good driving record, your insurance gonna go down. Baby, my insurance always went up. This year, my insurance is high as fuck. I'm like, damn, no accidents, no nothing, no. I paid my car insurance when I renewed it. I'm like, what in the hell? But I gotta pay it to keep driving. Now y'all said make America great again, but it's feel like making America hate your ass again. What is going on out here with all these high ass bills? I was on Indeed the other day, just trying to see, if I could find me some at-home stuff, because, baby, sometimes I get tired of driving for real. Y'all listen, some of these jobs are still paying $7.25 an hour. Who gonna pay their bills with that? And y'all sitting out here talking about, a job is a job. No, a job is not a job. When you just working and you still can't afford to pay your fucking bills. What's better than zero? Where you gonna stay at? Who you gonna take care of? That's not even working paycheck to paycheck. That's working under paycheck to under paycheck. It's gonna take about 3 of them fucking paychecks just to pay one bill. The power bill. What the fuck is going on with the power bill? It seems like they keep going up on the fucking power and the water bill. What is going on out here? I remember back in, 2011. Boy, I was making $9, about $10 an hour. Boy, I was feeling good. I was like, yeah, I'm making $10. Baby, they are still paying $10 an hour. What can you do with that? The new $10 an hour is now the new $20 an hour. You still can't pay your bills because as the pay rate go up, your bills go all the way the fuck up too. Meanwhile, other countries got free healthcare and free education, and we out here struggling. We supposed to be the best. And y'all still arguing about taxes on food stamps. After a while, everybody gonna need some food stamps out here to survive and to pay the bills at the same time.
If you feel like you can't afford basic life milestones, you're not alone. A new poll conducted by NBC News, The Washington Post, and Ipsos found that 56% of Americans say that they can't afford health care. 60% say they can't afford a week-long vacation, and 74% say they can't afford a new car. Yes, you heard that right. 3/4 of Americans say they can't afford a new car. The poll also found that over half of Americans are carrying some type of credit card debt, medical debt, or student loan debt. So yeah, when political figures say that the economy looks good and the Dow has hit 50,000, that doesn't translate to paying the bills. And let me be clear, this isn't about Americans forgetting how to budget. This is the fact that the cost of simply living is not keeping up with wages. So if you feel like this is your reality, you are certainly not alone. This is showing up clearly in the data.
I actually find it so disrespectful that humans are literally the only species on this earth that has to pay to live. Everything feels like a fucking subscription service anymore. It's like we're forced to do this against our will. We didn't sign up for this, and everything costs too damn much. You step outside, they charge you literally like $25 to breathe. You go into Publix or Kroger or any of these luxury places, and you get yourself like 2 things, another $50. You're literally paying to go to work, especially if you have like a longer commute. Like say that your job is like half an hour away, like gas really starts to like add up, and it's not cheap in a lot of places. I honestly find that a lot of people are surviving off of overdrafting bank accounts, maxing out credit cards, or just simply not giving a fuck anymore. I'm not even sure like what stage of capitalism this is anymore, but I feel like it's kind of gotten to a point where a lot of people have just stopped caring about this shit People are sick and tired of sacrificing all of their time, slaving away, and getting absolutely nothing back. It feels like we're just kind of at a point right now where we're literally enslaving ourselves for free. The earth gave us everything that we needed in abundance for free. And it's absolutely ridiculous that we get charged out the asshole to just simply exist on a floating rock none of us even asked to be on.
America has become completely unaffordable, and I don't know why people aren't talking about it. Half of America doesn't even have a savings, rent is insane, healthcare is a luxury, and somehow the narrative is just that people are bad with money. People are working full time, and most people even have 2 to 3 jobs because they have to. At what point do we stop blaming the people and just accept the fact that the cost of living has outpaced reality? Because everything is so expensive, you simply have to know exactly where your money is going. Like, budgeting is simply a necessity now. You have to have one. I started using a budgeting app called Mine just to figure out where my money is going, but that does not make up for the fact that America is too expensive to live in. If you are struggling too, you are not alone.
The American dream is no longer the American dream for many of us, and honestly, I am so glad. More and more people are waking up and realizing that fulfillment doesn't come from following this one-size-fits-all blueprint. And I also feel like we were sold this narrative to go to college, get married, buy a house, have children, and that was success. And now many of us are redefining what success actually means for ourselves. And don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with choosing that traditional path if that is what truly aligns with you. But I do love seeing people carve out lives that reflect their values and their desires, whether that's traveling the world, focusing on personal growth, building a business, starting a family, or not starting a family at all. However, I do think happiness looks different on everyone, but it is really refreshing to see people living life on their own terms instead of chasing a dream that was never really theirs to begin with.
Now, let's rewind to the first 50 days of Trump's presidency. Remember when he promised to drain the swamp? Turns out, he just restocked it with bigger, swampier creatures. It's like hiring a termite to guard your wooden cabin. He signed a tax bill that was supposed to benefit the average Joe, but ended up giving massive breaks to corporations and the ultra-wealthy. It's like throwing a pizza party and finding out the CEOs took all the slices, leaving you with the empty boxes. And let's not forget the environmental rollbacks. Trump dismantled over 100 environmental regulations, including those that curbed greenhouse gas emissions and protected our air and water. It's like selling your air conditioner during a heat wave because you prefer natural warmth. Then you have the farmers and government workers who voted for Trump, unwisely voting against their best interest. And what about our standing on the world stage? Trump's America First approach has left us more isolated than ever. The U.S. was added to an international watch list for a rapid decline in civic freedoms. It's like being the kid who insists on playing by his own rules, only to find out no one wants to play with him anymore. In recent times, a notable shift has emerged among some of Donald Trump's staunch supporters, leading them to reassess their allegiance. This reevaluation stems from various factors, including policy decisions, personal convictions, and evolving political landscapes. Several policy choices during Trump's tenure have prompted supporters to reconsider their stance. For instance, in Chandler, Arizona, a group of Arab American voters, initially supportive of Trump, expressed dissatisfaction with his approach to the Gaza conflict. Despite appreciating his role in facilitating a ceasefire, they were concerned about his redevelopment proposals for the region, leading to a complex mix of support and regret. Public demonstrations have also highlighted this shift. On International Women's Day, hundreds gathered at the Midland County Courthouse to protest against Trump's policies, particularly those perceived to undermine democracy and women's rights. Organized by local political groups, the rally underscored growing concerns among former supporters regarding the administration's direction. Prominent political figures have also exhibited changing perspectives. Nicole Maliotakis, a Republican congresswoman from New York, initially expressed regret over her 2016 vote for Trump during her mayoral campaign. However, she later endorsed and voted for him in 2020, reflecting the nuanced and evolving nature of political support. Organizations like Republican Accountability have emerged, focusing on defending traditional Republican principles and critiquing actions they believe deviate from these values. Initially launched as Republican voters against Trump in 2020, the initiative collected testimonials from conservatives explaining their decision not to support Trump, signaling internal party debates and shifting loyalties. The current reassessment among some of Trump's staunch supporters underscores the dynamic nature of political allegiance. And let's talk about the economy. While Trump touted a booming stock market, the reality for everyday Americans was different. Unemployment rates fluctuated, and income inequality widened. It's like being shown a gourmet meal on TV while you're stuck eating instant noodles. In the end, many are coming to terms with the fact that voting for Trump was like buying a flashy sports car without an engine. It looked good at first, but it didn't take them anywhere. But here's the silver lining. Recognizing the mistake is the first step toward making better choices. Tell me what you think about this topic. Hope you find the information in this video informative. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment. Thanks for watching.